back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking all about the Chantecaille Black Friday sale, and I'm going to be telling you about my must-haves from the sale. So Chantecaille is doing 30% off this year, which is a little bit larger than what they normally do. Normally they do about a 25% off, but 30% off. If you use the code LISA30, you can get 30% off. This is early access, so today and tomorrow is going to be early access if you use my code, and then starting on the 21st will be access to the public and they can shop the sale. So Chantecaille does tend to run out of products, so if you were interested in something, you might want to pick it up the first few days. I really don't like that type of marketing usually, like, oh my God, hurry up and shop. But just know that Chantecaille does sell out of products usually during their sales, just because obviously a lot of people are interested in picking up products during the sale. I also just want to say, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more Black Friday videos. This is going to be my only one. I just feel a little overwhelmed with the sales, and I just want you guys to shop smartly. And I'm only going to be talking about things that I am really interested in. I just feel like so many creators just over promote things, and it can just be overwhelming where you feel like you have to buy everything. But just know, if you were not interested in the item at full price, you're actually not saving anything if you purchase it during the sale. Just because it's a really good discount doesn't mean you should purchase these items. Just be cautious about your money. Obviously, during these sales, it's a great time to pick up gifts for others for the holiday season. Or if you did have your eye on something, but it was just a little too pricey at full price, and you were always interested in it, and you did want to pick it up, that is a time to grab these things. But don't just purchase things just because they're on sale. Otherwise, again, you're not really saving anything. And it's always good to be cautious with your money and to be really thoughtful about your purchases. And I don't want you guys just to overconsume products just because it's on sale. You're just going to be bombarded with so many Black Friday sale videos in the next few weeks. So I just want you guys to remember, like, these creators are making commission off you when you purchase through their links. So remember that these creators aren't really thinking about your best interest. They're trying to make money off of you. So just remember that. But again, if you do use my link, please let me know so I can personally thank you, because it obviously does help out my channel. This is my second job, and it really does help me be able to create videos for you. It allows me to consume more makeup than I would normally so that I can review the products for you, so I can compare and let you know if these products are worth it for you to purchase. So just my little disclaimer, but let's just get started into the Chantecaille products, because I know that's why you're interested. Chantecaille is one of my favorite brands, and I have to say I am very, very lucky that sometimes I will receive PR from them, but a lot of this stuff I have purchased myself. Most of this stuff I have purchased myself, and I will always disclose if I was sent items for free, because I think that's really important as well. Let's start with the complexion, and I'm going to start off with one of my all-time favorite products that I have personally repurchased 3 times. The brand has sent me one of these, but I have purchased this myself 3 other times because I am so in love with it. One of my holy grail products is the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Bronze Face Tint, and it does only come in one shade, which I would say is the negative. I really hope they branch out this shade range and they come out with this in a multitude of different shades, because if I didn't have self-tan on, this is something I wouldn't be able to use because I have like the fairest of the fair skin tone. So this would be too dark and too warm tone for me. I naturally have a very fair, cool skin tone. Like, I'm always the lightest foundation shade if I don't have a self-tan on. So again, that won't be, this product is only good for a select skin tone, which is very disappointing because I don't really like to leave people out when I talk about products, but I just have to talk about this because it is so good. This is one of my favorite multi-purpose products. You can use this as just a tinted moisturizer, and it gives you a sheer coverage. I would say it's equivalent to like the Chanel Water Fresh tint. It is very much like a no makeup. It just gives you a slight bit of coverage just to even out your skin tone. It really, what it does is it blurs imperfections just slightly. It blurs the skin so that your pores look like completely textureless. This is the bronzer that I am wearing today. So again, you can use this just on its own as a tinted moisturizer. A lot of the time I like to mix this with a concealer, and I'll just apply it all over my skin just as a foundation replacement. And then that's what I go to the gym in the mornings, and that's what I will wear to the gym, and then I'll come home and work after. That's what I love to do. Another way you can use this is you can use this to deepen up foundation. So instead of having to buy a darker foundation in the summer and a lighter one in the winter, you can just mix this into your foundations. So it really works beautifully as a multi-purpose product. And again, you can also use this as a cream bronzer, which is what I used it as today. And I just love it because it's the only cream bronzer that actually melts into my skin and it doesn't look like makeup at all. It just sits so beautifully on the skin and it makes you look like you have a really natural bronze without it looking like you have obvious bronzer on your skin. It truly melts into a skin-like finish. And even though I apply this as like a tinted moisturizer, it lasts all day long. I don't have any problems with longevity. It's just so beautifully blurring on the skin. It's a really beautiful softening. Like it just makes your skin look so soft and even more even. Ah, it's just so pretty. You have to try this out if you haven't yet. I love this so much. Moving on to foundation products, I'm going to start out with probably like the lightest coverage I want to say. And this is the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. This has an SPF 15 in it. I have the shade Vanilla and Glow. So Glow is like if I've just self-tanned, and Vanilla is when my tan is fading a little bit. So these are, sometimes I even mix them together. But this is just such a beautiful product. This was my favorite foundation of 2024, I believe, because they reformulated this and they reformulated it so well. They reformulated it to have a little bit less coverage, I would say, and it just has such a pretty skin finish. It's not overly glowy on the skin. I would say it actually has a skin finish. It's not a satin finish, not a matte finish. It's that perfect in between. It gives you a really nice amount of coverage, but it's not too high coverage. You're not going to be able to obtain like medium coverage out of this. Not full coverage, obviously, but it just leaves your skin looking more even, more blurred. Again, because I always need a complexion product to blur your skin. I want to look like an Instagram filter without the filter on my skin. I want to look filtered in real life. And it just does such a great job of that. Again, without adding a ton of coverage. And even though it's more of a tinted moisturizer, it has great longevity. This is something I can wear to events and it looks really great and put together all day long. I can wear it in the summer months and it doesn't fade. It doesn't look greasy at the end of the day. This is great for travel because it's just a plastic tube. So it's just really easy to travel around with. It's just so pretty. If you want a skin finish that looks like your skin but better, this is the foundation you want to reach for. Now, if I want to reach for a product that literally looks like my skin but better, this has the most beautiful skin finish. I would say this has more of a natural finish compared to this one. This one is, even though I described it as a skin finish, it is a skin finish, but it's just slightly glowier than this Chantecaille. This is the oil-free gel foundation, the Future Skin oil-free gel foundation. Again, they just reformulated this year as well, and I really prefer the reformulation. I think that the reformulation has a bit more of a matte finish, I would say. It's not completely matte. It actually is more of a natural skin finish, like I stated, but it is more matte than the previous version, and there's something even more blurring about this reformulation. It is so skin perfecting, even though this type of foundation is not going to add a lot of coverage. It reminds me of the new Makeup by Mario foundation, except, again, way less coverage. This is going to be literally your skin but better. This is the foundation that they use on HD TV. They use this on TV series, on TV shows, because it literally mimics your skin. It does not look like you are wearing makeup. You cannot detect makeup sitting on your skin. This is the foundation that I am using today. And again, I used the Sheer Bronze Face Tint as a bronzer on my skin. And the combination is just so beautiful. This feels so plumping on your skin because there's a cooling sensation when you apply it. It is water-based and it is just, it's so gorgeous on the skin. My mom's Holy Grail foundation used to be the Chanel Sublimage L'Essence de Teint, but she has actually changed over to this foundation. Her shade, because I know some of you ask, is the shade Vanilla as well. And she loves this foundation. She'll probably pick up a backup during the sale because she told me that this is now her everyday foundation. She just loves how her skin looks. Again, she feels like it's blurring. She loves that it's undetectable on the skin and that it's really plumping and it just makes her feel more youthful. And she loves this foundation. This has changed. It used to be a plastic jar. It is now a glass jar. There are no microplastics in this. Again, they reformulated it and the reformulation is flawless and beautiful. And there was a shade expansion as well. So if you previously couldn't find your shade in this, I would check again because they did do a shade expansion. And then finally, if you're someone that just prefers a fuller coverage, this is the Chantecaille Future Skin Cushion. This is a skincare based foundation. I wear the shade Nude. This is a foundation that's supposed to like stretch with your skin. So it's supposed to work for like a variety of different skin tones. So there's not that many shades. I personally disagree with that because this is a bit too dark for me, and it always looks a bit too dark for me, except if I have a fresh self tan on. So I should probably pick this up in a a lighter shade. And I will probably do that during the sale, but this is just such a beautiful cushion foundation. This is a medium buildable to a fuller coverage, but even though you can build it up to a fuller coverage, it is one of the most undetectable fuller coverage foundations on the market, especially if you just use a little bit of product and really blend it out on the skin. There's something so seamless and natural looking about this, and I think it's because it has that really beautiful skin-like finish. If you're someone with super duper dry skin or very mature skin, this might be a little bit too drying for you. But if you are someone with oily, normal, combo skin and you like a fuller coverage, I think you will absolutely love this. I do have a dry skin type, but I still really love this. I like to use this more for special occasions just because it does give me quite a bit of coverage and it is a bit more mattifying on my skin personally. But I still love this. I love the coverage level. I love how it lasts all day long. The longevity is beautiful. This is great for events when you are going to be outside all day long and it's going to be really hot, because even in the humidity, this does not transfer. This does not get greasy looking. It doesn't separate. It doesn't get cakey. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Probably the most blurring foundation that Chantecaille has. I really, really love it. I'm not going to do this in any specific order. Normally I go in the order of complexion products, but some of you guys actually said that you like when I switch it up and just do a random order. So I'm going to talk about this Chic Gelee because this is one of my favorite new releases that Chantecaille has come out with. So Chantecaille reformulated their Chic Gelees and I really like this formula. Now, I am specific about shades that I purchase because I do not like intermittent shimmers in my cheek products. I just don't like when you can see that shimmer particle or any sparkles, especially in like direct light. So one of my favorite shades, either the shade Thrill, which is a really beautiful like rusty color, that would be perfect for the fall time. But my favorite shade is the shade Euphoric because there are no intermittent shimmer particles. It is this perfect peachy pink color. It gives your skin life and vibrancy. If you hear me talk about the Merit blushes all the time and how you can just finish off a makeup look by topping off your makeup with those Merit blushes because it brings the skin texture back. It just makes your skin look more like skin when you've applied makeup to your skin, like especially powder products. This Chantecaille does exactly what the Merit does because you can see it is quite a sheer pigmentation. So that sheer pigment and it being a more glossy finish just does something when you apply it over powder products. And again, you can't do this with any old cream blush. It has to be like a very sophisticated formula and a more sheer formula and a more glossy formula. And this just works so well. It just brings the skin finish, like I have it on my cheeks today. It just looks so healthy, so youthful. Again, there are no intermittent shimmer particles. I feel like this does add a stained effect. So even though when the color slightly fades away, you will still get a little bit of a stain. So it is more long lasting than say the Merit blush, which kind of just fades away a little bit faster. It does blend into your skin. Like now that this is melted into my skin, it doesn't transfer, like it doesn't feel sticky. Your hair is not gonna get stuck in it. That's what I don't like about a lot of cream blush formulas. This is just beautiful. And again, you can use this on a no makeup day when you just want your cheeks to look really fresh and youthful. Just applying this without any other powder products. Like again, when I go to the gym, I like to use the Chantecaille Sheer Bronze Face Tint all over the skin. And then I'll go in with this kind of cream blush just because it gives your skin that really natural flush where you can't detect that it is blush. It just looks very natural, like you're blushing from within. I'm obsessed with this and I don't use that term lightly. I don't like to use that word actually. And some eyeshadows that I, again, just can't get enough of. These are some of my favorites in my entire collection. The first is this Chantecaille. This is this Luminescent eye shade in the shade Mustang. So this is a new shade to the permanent line from Chantecaille. And Mustang is, I think it's described as a shimmering, oh, it says it on here, a shimmering cinnamon, which is such a great name for it. And this is different than some of the other luminescent eye shades because most of those have an intermittent shimmer. So they are the most sparkly that I like to go. They're like a very, I would say they are a less intense version of like a Natasha Denona eyeshadow. They are just way less glittery and intense, and they don't have those same glitter particles. They are just a slightly sporadic shimmer, but very, like, in the most sophisticated way. This is like a typical sheen shimmer where it doesn't have those intermittent shimmer particles. It has like very, very, very soft ones, but this is the softest out of all of the luminescent eye shades. So if you were someone that maybe was turned off, that they were a little chunkier than your normal shimmery eyeshadow, you will love this formula. Look how gorgeous that shade is. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I love it because it's a baked eyeshadow. You can use it wet, you can use it dry. If you use it wet, you will get more intensity from it. So it'll just look more intense and it will give you that wet effect. So gorgeous. And I think it's perfect for the fall and winter time because it is that shimmering cinnamon shade. Such a great description for it. It is gorgeous. I love that it looks so multi-dimensional because there are those little bit of intermittent shimmers. It just looks so dimensional. So even though I'm wearing one eyeshadow, it almost looks like I've applied more because it just gives you depth and dimension with the different reflex in this. It is stunning. So glad that they brought this out permanent because it was a limited edition shade and then they brought it back permanent, and it's stunning and you will love it. If you want something even softer than that luminescent eye shade that is just almost a creamy powder. This is the Chantecaille Mermaid eye color in the shade Copper. One of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. I can't believe I haven't gone through it yet. It's like the never-ending eyeshadow. I have a backup of it because I am scared to go without it. So this is even more of a sophisticated sheen than this Mustang shade. It has more of that continuous shimmer. So it gives you more of that sheen versus it having any sort of flex. So this is just stunning. If you want something that literally looks like your eyes are wet, they are glossy, it gives you that glossy lid effect. This feels like a creamy powder. I would describe it as a powder to cream formula. It is so creamy. It feels like you're applying a cream. And even though it is creamy, it lasts all day long. Again, this is something my mom has and my mom loves this shade. Whenever she wears it on her eyes, I always compliment her because it just makes her blue eyes pop and look so gorgeous. And this in combination is stunning. Again, my mom also has the luminescent eye shade. I don't believe she has this shade though, so I'm gonna have to get her to pick that up, or maybe I'll grab it for her. But it's such a gorgeous combination if you mix these together as well. I love it so, so much. One of my favorite new releases is this Chantecaille Cheek Light. This was released in the holiday collection, and I am just using this constantly. It's the highlighter that I'm wearing today. Again, I obviously used all these products on my face, and I'm sorry I don't have any B-roll. I had to re-film this video because I had it just wasn't clear when I filmed it. So I'm trying to get this up because the sale does start today. But this is the most beautiful highlighter. It is a powder highlighter, but it goes onto the skin almost like a liquid does. It is so soft and so subtle. It reminds me of a mix between the Prada highlighter and the Dior reformulated luminizers because it gives you that glossy cheek effect. But it's not as intense and glossy as the Dior highlighter, but it's also not as subtle as the Prada. It's like that perfect in between where it gives you that intensity, but it's not so intense that you can't wear it every day. When you buff it into the skin, it gives you just the healthiest, glossiest cheeks. I am obsessed with this formula again, and I hate using that word, but I really, really love it. And I love this shade because it's a pinky champagne. I don't have a lot of pinky highlighters, so this wasn't a redundant shade to add to my collection. This did add some nice variety, and it's just so pretty. You could use it on the eyes as well. I love this highlighter because, again, it doesn't have any of those intermittent shimmer particles, so you can't see any glitter flecks sitting on the skin. It just looks so skin-like. It truly looks like you just have a liquid highlighter on your cheeks. So loving this. It does only come in one shade in the Cheek Light, but if you are a light to medium skin tone, highly recommend trying it out. It is gorgeous. And then I have to talk about one of my favorite products of all time, the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. This is a classic. This is something that I love to use for, I would say, more special occasions. I typically don't use this on an everyday basis, only because it is quite mattifying. So when I'm looking for like the most blur, when I want my skin to be bulletproof and just ultra blurred, this is the powder I will reach for. This will add a little bit of color and a little bit of coverage. I wear the shade light medium, and this does have a deeper shade. I wish they would release this in a lighter shade because, for example, when I don't have a self-tan on. This is too dark for me. My sister, again, who doesn't self-tan, this is too dark for her, so she wouldn't be able to use this product. So I do wish they would expand the shade range. However, this is a very beautiful blurring. It's like a high impact blurring powder. So if you are someone that loves the Clé de Peau powder, but you know, that's just that's like a no powder powder. This is going to be, I don't want to say it's a detectable powder on your skin, but it's just a little bit of a heavier duty powder where if you have discoloration or acne, you're going to want to use this type of powder because it has a little bit of coverage and a little bit of color. So I really like it, again, for more special occasions when I want my skin to look like flawless and perfected and ultra blurred. It is such a great powder, so highly recommend this one. I feel like this is such an underrated product from Chantecaille, and I'm going to admit it took me a while to get into it as well. But as I've gotten older, the more I am not into like high impact makeup. I like very natural makeup, like you but better makeup. So because I'm more into that makeup, I think that makes sense why I like this product more. This is the Chantecaille, the Camouflage Stylo. This is the Anti-Fatigue Corrector Pen. I have it in the shade 4C, which works really well when I have a tan again. And this is just a really beautiful natural concealer. So again, talking about like the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation, this is like the concealer version of that, where it's just going to slightly correct any discoloration under your eyes, but in a very natural way. Again, when I was telling you that on a daily basis, I use the Sheer Bronze Face Tint and then the cream blush for the gym, I also use this concealer under my eyes, and then I'll set it with like a tiny bit of powder, and then brow gel through my brows. But that's all I wear. Oh, and a lip balm. But besides that, that's all I wear. And this just does such a good job of being like a no makeup concealer. It is not going to look detectable. It's not going to look like concealer under your eyes, but it is going to very naturally even out the discoloration under your eyes. It's obviously going to make it look better than having no makeup on, but it's not going to completely conceal your under eye if you have under eye bags or anything like that. I am, again, wearing it today just as a brightening agent on top of another concealer. And I like to do that as well if I want just a little bit of brightness, if I want to just conceal a little bit more, because again, it does brighten the skin. It has like, it doesn't have a shimmer, but it has light refracting properties so that it reflects the light and just makes your under eyes look less puffy. So I really, really like this concealer, again, for more natural makeup days on an everyday basis. This is my go-to concealer. I have gone through 2 of these and this is my 3rd. I was sent my first one, which made me fall in love with it, but then I repurchased 2. And again, something I can't get enough of. I love this product. Another item from the holiday collection is this Chantecaille. This is the liquid eyeshadow in the shade Tulle. This is a really beautiful liquid eyeshadow. Liquid eyeshadows can be so finicky and hard to make. The only other liquid eyeshadow I really like is the Armani, which is more of a matte formula, like I only like the matte shades, or the Sisley shimmery eyeshadow, but Chantecaille did such a good job. Like, look at how glossy that is. So this eyeshadow I love to use. I'll just use it on its own. It just gives you the glossy, like, look at that. It literally looks like my hand is healthy and glossy. It is so gorgeous on the eyes. Again, if you're someone that doesn't want like that intermittent shimmer that's really glittery and it has fallout all over the eyes, it's going to be a perfect product for you. Love, love, love this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then I just have a few more products to mention. I feel like the blushes are so underrated. No one talks about them. And I mean, the packaging isn't super exciting. It looks really tiny and puny, but it's such a beautiful formula. Again, this is something my mom loves. My mom always, which I don't know why she takes them traveling because I think they're very breakable, but she took this, like she just went to Italy and she took these blushes and she said she loved them. It's such a silky, creamy formula. So they are very, very, very finely milled. So I would be very careful if you are traveling with them because they are very shatter prone just because of how creamy and finely milled this pigment is. It's a powder blush, but they do not look powdery on the skin at all because of how finely milled and creamy this formula is. My favorite shade is the shade Grace Turtle. I also love the shade Bliss, which is a really, really light pink. And I have Elephant and Bee. I have most of the shades, but I think Grace is probably my favorite. It's just a beautiful neutral tone that you can pair with anything. I love it. Such a gorgeous formula. Again, very underrated. And then lip products. So I saved the lip products for last. I feel like you've heard me talk about these so much, The Lip Shakes, these are basically a hybrid between a lipstick and a lip gloss. They leave your lips feeling so comfortable. They like hug the lips. They are a thicker formula. They're almost waxy, but they make it feel like after it's faded away that your lips have felt like there's a lip mask over top. It's just so deeply hydrating. Your lips will feel better after you've worn this, which is so rare for a lipstick. My favorite shades are the shades Bourbon Rose, which is actually my mom's favorite. So this is my mom's favorite Bourbon Rose. It just gives her a little bit more color. And my favorite is the shade Patience, which is just this gorgeous pinky, peachy nude, more pinky than peachy, I would say. Perfect tone. I love their lip liners. Again, something I've repurchased. Again, my mom's favorite lip liners. I have the shades Nuance, I have Natural, and this is an eyeliner. So not a lip liner. But again, lip eyeliners are gorgeous as well. Very creamy. These are a kohl. So I would only recommend these on the top lash line, or you could put it on the lower lash line a little bit, but I love to smudge these out. This shade Jasper just makes my blue eyes pop a little more. Again, my mom has these eyeliners and loves them. I would not recommend tight lining because it is a kohl, it is going to transfer, but these are gorgeous as an eyeliner. Some of you have said these are not your #1 products from Chantecaille. I also have to mention, I cannot find my mascara anywhere. I have no idea where it went. I do have a backup that I need to open, but highly recommend the mascara. It is so pricey. I think it's over $100 in Canada, which is crazy for a mascara, but it is something I have personally purchased and repurchased myself, and I only purchase it during the sale. I would not personally purchase that item at full price just because 105 Canadian dollars for a mascara is crazy, but it does have peptides in it that will help your lashes grow. And I do think it does help because I stopped using Latisse 2 years ago, and I have been using the Chantecaille mascara and also the Swede lash growth serum, and I haven't used any Latisse, and I feel like my lashes still look really nice and strong and long without that. So I do think there is something to that mascara. I really love it. It lengthens, it volumes, but it never gets clumpy, never gets thick looking. It's easy to remove, and it also is really buildable, but again, doesn't give you spider lashes. So it's just such a great all-around mascara. But Chantecaille, if you are watching this, we need that mascara in a brown. Please release it in a brown. It would literally be my holy grail mascara if it came in a brown shade. That's all I want for Christmas, Chantecaille, please. But also, my last product that I want to mention is the Chantecaille Brilliant Lip Gloss. My favorite shades are Blithe and Love. This is actually this beautiful light pink shade. They did reformulate this as well, and now these have this really nice tip where it's not that brush. It was like a flappy brush before. This is just a really nice foam tip like you can see. So it's just easy to apply. The formula is very thin. It is very comfortable. Has a little bit of a sheen to it, but again, you can't see or you can't feel the glitter flecks on it. Really gorgeous formulation because it is so thin in texture, but again, it adds that hydration to your lips. But that is everything for all my Chantecaille must-haves for the sale. Please let me know if you will be picking up anything. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this 30% off sale. Please use the code Lisa30 or use my link. I would so appreciate it. And please let me know. And please let me know so that I can personally thank you. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it. And I'll see you in my next video.